Look at a map of Western Europe, and a 2-week route from Paris through Belgium to Amsterdam looks like an easy, logical straight line. It's a highly efficient rail corridor connecting 3 countries and centuries of history. The appeal here is the contrast. You spend the morning taking in massive Gothic cathedrals and the afternoon navigating local street markets to source artisanal cheese and fresh baguettes for a neighborhood park picnic. This chart shows the reality of showing up in April expecting to wing it. Those spontaneous ideas quickly turn into 2-hour museum queues, sold-out tower climbs, and settling for whatever tourist trap cafe happens to have an open table. Traveling through Europe during peak spring season means giving up daily spontaneity. You have to commit to your exact movements months before you pack a bag. Treating this itinerary as a strict logistical puzzle, where every train, museum entry, and dinner reservation is locked into place early, is the only reliable way to guarantee a high return on the time and money you are investing. The backbone of this trip is the high-speed rail network. Taking a direct Eurostar from Paris Gare du Nord to Brussels and then on to Amsterdam Central bypasses the massive time drain of airport security and baggage claims. Securing the lowest fares and the most efficient midday departures requires booking these train tickets exactly 90 days in advance. That early booking strips away your intercity flexibility. If you fall in love with Paris and want to stay an extra day, you can't. Your exit time is permanently fixed. Locking down this rigid transit spine early removes the biggest variable from your trip. It guarantees your movement between capitals, which gives you the necessary foundation to build out the rest of your daily schedule. In Paris, you are dealing with global demand for some of the most famous structures on Earth. Millions of people want to climb the 424 steps of the Notre Dame towers or walk the halls of the Louvre every spring. Accessing these sites requires navigating mandatory timed entry booking windows that open anywhere from 30 to 60 days before your visit. Miss that window, and you are locked out entirely. Booking early gets you precise access. Instead of standing in a sprawling garden queue at noon, a reserved ticket lets you bypass the line to view the city lights through the Eiffel Tower's iron framework late at night. You balance those massive monuments with a culinary strategy that contrasts historic bistros, like getting steak au poivre at a neighborhood institution, with sourcing your own meals. That requires waking up early to hit pedestrian market streets, like Rue Claire, to buy your own provisions before your first sightseeing appointment of the day. By organizing your morning around strict entry times and pre-planned meals, the rest of your afternoon opens up. You secure the freedom to ride a Vélib bike along the Seine or explore an unfamiliar neighborhood without worrying about where you'll eat or what you're missing. Breaking up the long rail journey between France and the Netherlands with a 2-day stopover in Belgium changes the pace of the trip entirely. This stop gives you direct access to dense medieval centers and specific masterpieces. You can take a quick 35-minute train into Ghent to view the Adoration of the Mystic Lamb altarpiece right inside St. Bavo's Cathedral. It also introduces a distinct culinary shift toward heavier tavern food. You trade Parisian wine and baguettes for historic cellars serving carbonade flamande, beef stewed in rich Belgian beer, alongside proper frites. The cost of this stop is physical. You are adding an extra hotel check-in and another cycle of packing and hauling luggage through a train station within a tight 2-week window. The density of the art, the shift in architecture, and the distinct regional food make that extra transit day worth the effort. It provides a necessary palate cleanser between the overwhelming scale of Paris and the unique geography of Amsterdam. The final leg in Amsterdam requires another major shift in how you move. You are trading wide Parisian boulevards for a tight network of historic canals and industrial docklands. To see the rural areas outside the city center, you really have to put in the physical work. Renting a city bike and pedaling a 32-kilometer loop through traditional polder landscapes and historic windmills demands real stamina. You contrast that daytime physical exertion with highly conceptual dining. Places like Pesca ditch the traditional menu entirely, having you select raw seafood straight from a market counter before they prepare it to order. This city also requires the most militant booking precision of the entire trip. Essential historical sites, particularly the Anne Frank House, release their mandatory time tickets exactly 6 weeks out, and they sell out immediately. The same strict timing applies to the seasonal draws. Reaching the Keukenhof Gardens during the peak morning bloom requires taking an early express bus to avoid the massive crowds that arrive by noon. Closing out this itinerary successfully in Amsterdam requires your highest level of physical endurance on the bikes, paired with exact minute-by-minute execution of your pre-booked entry times. The central trade-off of this entire route is simple. You are exchanging the ability to make decisions on the fly for guaranteed access to peak cultural experiences. This chart shows the exact schedule. 90 days out, lock in transatlantic flights and Eurostar tickets for your transit spine. At 60 days, secure entries to the Louvre, Anne Frank House, and Keukenhof. At 30 days, finalize tower climbs, catacombs access, and top restaurant reservations. Mastering this specific chronological timeline ensures your travel budget actually buys you the experiences you traveled across the Atlantic to see. If you are an active organizer who treats building a spreadsheet as part of the fun, this dense, multi-city structure will yield an incredibly rewarding trip. But if you prefer to wake up and decide your day over a coffee, trying to execute this specific route in the spring will leave you frustrated, exhausted, and locked out of major sites. Whether you travel northbound from Paris or southbound from Amsterdam doesn't change the math. The direction is irrelevant. The strictness of the preparation is what dictates the outcome. Consistently high-quality travel requires removing luck from the equation. It is a direct result of rigorous early planning. Check the link below to download the master checklist and start mapping your timeline.